three phases of a shifting market. And the question is, how do you know where you're in? So what happens first in a shifting market is the number of sales decline, but prices continue to rise. Well, that's weird, right? Because there's that dichotomy between buyers starting to pull back and saying, ooh, I may not want to buy right now, and those buyers who are still actively pursuing the way they expect the market is. Secondly, what happens is the number of sales decline and prices start to stabilize. And then lastly, the number of sales decline or stabilize and prices begin to decrease. Now notice I didn't say prices fell off the cliff. They just begin to decrease. And then when we get to that bottom, the flip happens and we rise back up. So we are constantly moving between this type of market. Where I want to show you is, and the level of how far into these two steps you get depends on what happens, right? How many of you expected when COVID lockdown happened that we had all lost our jobs and would never have a career again, right? There was a real fear that we were done. And then May happened and you're like, oh, I guess everybody's tired of living in their house. Okay, right? So unless something bizarre like that happens, we probably will certainly get into this level, and we'll probably end into some parts of this. We have some theories, but it's not going to show up the way your clients are going to want it to show up. So let me walk you through what this means. Let's go back to March of 2020. When we look at what numbers are, we talk about number of sales year over year. So the first column is how many sales happened in March of 2022 versus 2021. And the reason we compare March of one year to March of the next year is because you're comparing apples to apples. If I compare March to December, well, we all know holidays, it's a slower time, but March is really busy. So it wouldn't be fair, right, to compare March to December. So we're looking at the year over year way things go. On the far right, that says average price increase or percentage increase year over year. So in March, we were all sitting pretty. Our number of sales were up 4% higher than the previous March, and our price had appreciated 11.4% compared to the previous year, which means that house in March of 2021 now costs 11.4% more in March of 2022. See how that works? Okay, cool. So we roll into April, and oh, we didn't have quite as many sales as the previous April, but okay, our average price still appreciated. May happens. Y'all, that's the beginning of the shift. We started for the first month seeing the number of sales year over year go down. And then you can see each month the number of sales have fallen. But what about this side? The prices continue to go up. So if we look through, we're still in phase one. Just is what it is. And because we do year over year sales, and last year, y'all, January was good, February was good, March was pretty good, April not bad, we're going to at least see 4 more months of these kind of numbers because we're comparing now with January of last year. Remember how busy January of last year was? So we're not out of the woods. Cut your household expenses, get lean and mean, and have as many conversations as you possibly can. So you've got to make 2 decisions for this year. The 2 decisions start with this. This is a Gary quote. This is not a Paige quote. Will you be the economist of choice? Will you be the trusted advisor that is able to talk to your clients in an educated way about getting to their maximum potential? So making sure that you are being able to become the economist of choice is what we're going to spend most of our time talking about today. So to be the economist of choice, your clients want to know 2 things. What will the number of sales be in the future? And what will prices be? If I wait to sell in August, maybe it will be better. Well, we're not financial advisors. We don't have crystal balls, but we do have data and we do have trends. And that is going to be your path of how you're able to explain to your seller, Hey, Mr. Seller, I know you want to wait till the end of the summer, but let me show you why you don't. Because as we move through those 3 phases of shift, right now, what's happening right now? Prices are still appreciating. What happens when we get to the decline and that seller waited too long? Those sellers need to get on the market. You're able to become the economist of choice and they will trust you. And y'all, I don't care if you've been in the business 1 year or 15. You can be a new agent and still be the economist. You just have to be willing to study and learn the data.